This is greatness.
Incredible.
This is top tier lyricism.
Drake decided to drop a surprise EP, which is Scary Hours 3, and that was a moment from our reaction to the EP. If you guys want to watch the full thing, it's available right now on Patreon, so just hit that link in the description or in the pinned comment. We finally made it. We didn't see this coming, but he dropped Scary Hours 3 EP. What are your first thoughts, bro?
Listen, man, if you guys have been watching the podcast for a long time, you know Lou and I have one wish. And that one wish is to get a full Drake project in any capacity that is all rap. Whether it's 3 songs, 6 songs, 20 songs, I don't care at this point. Just to be able to see Drake rapping on a top tier level once again for an extended play is really, really, really awesome to see in 2023.
It is. I'll say this, though. My biggest problem with this EP is that it ended. Like,
yes,
that was
absolutely.
the most devastating part of my experience with this project, because the 6-man went 6 for 6, bro. Like, he really brought a new flavor, a new cadence, a new feeling to every single one of these tracks. Red Button was insane to start things off. Right after you heard that song, you knew that he was going to go lyrical for maybe the entirety of this thing.
Dude, like, listen, even the cast of producers that took care of this 6-song stretch, whether it's Boy Wonder or Vinyls or The Alchemist or Conductor, these are top-tier producers that are able to play on so many different levels, and I do feel like they perfectly suited Drake throughout this entire run. Not only that, but Drake with his motor mouth is back once again. There's full of name drops. There's full of subliminal disses.
Yeah.
And it's him just back in his competitive bag. So you want to go through some of those bars, actually.
I mean, for sure. I think that there's some that definitely stick out on stories about my brother. The wordplay is fucking unreal, guys. For example, my brother, a flamethrower. It's like he playing EDM. That guy, a chain smoker. After that, you have stuff like, and any of you guys whine to Jay Prince like some grape growers, or it's me, him, and a white thing. We moving like Paramore, referencing the rock band. Like, you're really getting some of the best bars, wordplay, double entendres that we've heard from Drake probably in a couple of years, to be honest with you. And he didn't hold back at all, bro. This is the vicious villain mode from Drake that we always love to see, because it seems like when he's into this type of mode is when he's at his most inspired.
Absolutely.
Like we saw with, like, If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, for example, when his back is against the wall, and so many people were doubting this project, saying, oh, Drake is going to drop some more mid. He hasn't dropped a good album since Views. And he came back to prove everybody wrong and to show people that he is still one of the best spitters in the fucking game.
Oh, absolutely. Even going on to something like Evil Ways, the back and forth with J. Cole was at full synchronization. It was so well done, and I don't know what I prefer more, this or first-person shooter. I feel like first-person shooter is maybe a bit more of an anthem, while this is more of like a lyrical exercise. It's both of them trying to flex their raps and kind of going bar for bar with each other and, you know, kind of asserting their dominance with what they're doing in the rap game at the moment. Not only that, but when you think it's over, you get a mega banger with You Broke My Heart. That drop was absolutely crazy, and it just goes to show that Drake could drop a full rap pack, or let's say even a full deluxe, and like still provide quality across the board. It's not going to get boring. You're going to stay engaged all the way throughout. Even something like The Shoe Fits, for example, when maybe he wants to go a bit more in his romantic bag, it's interesting because the song starts off with him saying like, I can't write like that anymore, and he's obviously talking to the women, and I think it's kind of my interpretation. It's interesting because it's kind of him saying like, I can't be in that Marvin's Room bag again. I can't be like that young Drake again because you guys are all fucking dodgy and I can't really give you guys my time. And then you understand what he goes into for the rest of that song after. So
yeah, but
I'm absolutely
just to say
this.
My piece on Evil Ways. Yeah, man, the call and response was fucking perfect. I absolutely loved that vintage vocal soul sample that you got in back. It just felt like a dream, bro. It felt like this was a song that we've been needing to hear from two high caliber level MCs. Even after getting First Person Shooter, this was just a blessing, and it might be the better song, to be honest with you. Just the chemistry was so beautiful on that one. I also want to talk about Wickman, just because The Alchemist came with one of the more interesting beats on this EP.
Oh, it was
you
so
had
sick.
This warped sound that took me back to the Nothing Was the Same type of production, where you have these reverse drums.
But it was also, it was interesting too, is that these types of productions, like, I've never really seen Drake like rap on them before, if that makes sense to you. Well, yes, those warping time effect sounds, you do get them on projects like a Nothing Was the Same. I've never seen him attack a type of production like this. It was super quirky. And one thing you and I were talking about at the beginning of the year for, let's say, Drake expectations is to go fully into this lane and to really make a dive into it, because dude, like when he gets into that sort of smooth rapping, you have him rapping on like these Mac Homie beats, low key, bro, on something like Stories About My Brother. It's fucking stupid. It is stupid. And it is so good. I have
that's the
zero
result
complaints.
when you get, these Griselda-esque producers and looking at someone like a Conductor Williams or an Alchemist, and it's definitely cool to see Drake rap over, these dusty soul sample loops and just these very interesting beats that are not mainstream beats. Like I didn't need more rage rap type of stuff from Drake on this. I wanted lyrical to its core, and for Drake to show people that he's not cut from the same cloth like a lot of these other rappers that are around today. And I think he definitely proved that on this. When it comes down to how I feel about the project as a whole, I don't really have too many complaints, to be honest with you. Like, maybe one thing that could have been dialed down a little bit is looking at Broke My Heart at the end, where you had like the Fuck My Ex segment that maybe dragged a little bit. That would be maybe one weakness within it. But what about you? Were there any low points or anything that you think could have played out differently?
No way. Especially from
flawless,
especially from
flawless EP.
Yeah, especially from that 1 to 5. I'm not gonna say it's flawless. I'll say it's amazing. Just because you said like maybe it drags on a bit at the end of You Broke My Heart, but even at that, I'm all worried about that at this point. I'll take that outro, excuse me, any single day of the week just to be able to get what I got from that 1 to 5. I am telling you, that is top tier Drake lyricism. That is him absolutely going in, and that is him showing this new generation what he is really made of, especially for a lot of new kids that are just coming into hip hop and still trying to figure it out. Like, he obviously catered, let's say, for all the dogs to a couple of different sounds, and he went into a couple of different directions. But this, I feel as if, was like him giving you like 5 diplomatic immunities like back to back. That's the way I feel about this project.
And I feel like we're part of that side of the community and fan base that have been really waiting for a project like this, and he gave it to us, and the results are honestly astounding, to be honest with you. Even looking at Wickman, you got big moments like him shouting out Ice Spice with the Munch line. You got a pretty big, obvious Pusha T diss, which was really interesting. We'll see what ends up happening there. But I mean, just really Drake just sounding inspired, sounding like he had a lot to say here, a lot to get off of his chest. And it opens my mind up to what the future could hold for Drake at this point, because I think the reception to this is going to be spectacular.
Oh, it's going to be spectacular.
I don't think it was made for the kids, but it was made for the dogs. It was made for people that have been following Drake's career for the longest time and that wanted to be reminded once again what he's capable of, what he has in his arsenal. And we're going to have a fucking field day going through bars and breaking shit down.
It's going to be absolutely incredible. Like, this is the type of passion that I feel for Drake's music, and this is why I enjoy his music so much, is that it's fun going through his music and like going with the comb and going bar for bar and seeing, okay, what did he say here? What did he say there? And then even just how like smooth and how absolutely cool he sounded on each and every single one of these productions.
It sounded effortless.
It absolutely sounded effortless. And that's what I was going to say, is that one of the complaints, let's say, that we've had with previous Drake records, at least between you and I, was that sometimes like either, he doesn't match a certain type of production, or maybe the collaboration doesn't make too sense for the album. But with this, like, he felt at home. Like, you know what he was trying to do on this, and this is like the best version of Drake you will get any day of the week, and this is why you and I podcast, bro.
Absolutely, bro. Like, this is what we do it for, is for moments and projects like this that come off effortless. And I love all the conversational type flows that he brought onto this thing, because it felt like he was just talking to you. It felt like he was getting grievances off. And yeah, I think that the whole creative burst of making this in 5 days, like he seemed to have alluded to in that trailer, it makes sense. It feels like this was maybe made in a vacuum, and it was made just him spilling thoughts out from pen to paper.
It sounded like there was something you needed to say, especially after maybe the release of For All the Dogs, and him wanting to come back with a certain type of vengeance to be able to prove his worth, not only to, let's say, the general community, but especially the rap community. I feel like a lot of people were taking jabs at him when it came to his rapping. And like you and I, we had our fair criticisms, let's say, on the past album review. But when it comes down to it, we never, ever, ever said that this guy is like anything less than a top tier lyricist. Like, he is really up to that standard. And when he's playing there, it's a completely different level. So, guys, it is Drake season once again in the month of November. We thought it was over in October. Well, guys, listen, November seems to be the month. Guys, thank you so much for all the love and support. And as Lou said at the beginning of this video, we did our live album reaction to Scary
crazy.
Hours 3. It was absolutely crazy. Some of my first reactions to certain songs on here were just absolutely mind-blowing. I was so happy with the certain songs that we had gotten. So much love to everyone. If you guys want to check it out, link in the description. Check the pinned comment. All you guys got to do is subscribe to the reaction tier. Much love from the entire NFR team, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.